So today, we're going to dive into a philosophy that connects the software on your computer, a mindset of principled optimism, and, believe it or not, our ultimate place in the universe. It's all inspired by the thinking of Steph Ango, and it really challenges some of the basic assumptions we have about technology and maybe even ourselves. And it all starts with a feeling that, let's be honest, we've all had.
You know the feeling, right? You download a new app, you fall in love with it. It's clean, it's simple, it does one thing perfectly. And then, update after update, it gets bloated, slow, and crammed with features you never asked for. It's just so frustrating, and it happens all the time.
But what if this slow decline isn't just a random accident? What if it's the totally predictable result of a specific way of building things? See, here's the good news. If there's one way to build, that means there has to be another way too. Yeah, the answer is usually baked right into the software's DNA from day one. And it's not really about bad designers or clumsy engineers, it's about the fundamental philosophy that's guiding the whole project from the very start. Okay, so let's get specific. Let's really dig into the world of software. According to Ango's writing, there are basically two competing paths a piece of software can take. And believe me, they lead to radically different places. So on one side, you've got what's called VCware. It's funded by venture capital, right? So its goal isn't really to serve you forever. It's to get huge, fast, and sell in about 5 years. You, the user, well, you often become the product. But on the other side, you have 100% user-supported software. And the goal here is totally different. It's about sustainability, not massive scale. It's built to last for decades and to serve you, the user, because, well, you're the one actually paying the bills. Okay, I know that's a bit abstract, so to make this crystal clear, let's use a brilliant analogy. And I want you to forget about software for just a second. Seriously. We're going to talk about jam.
So, you've got your industrial software, right? That's like the mass-produced jam you find in any supermarket. It might seem cheap or even free, but it's usually full of weird ingredients, stuff like trackers and proprietary formats that lock your data in. But then you have independent software, and that's like that amazing handmade jam you get from a farmer's market. You pay a fair price, but you know you're getting quality. You know the ingredients are good, things like user privacy and open formats, and you can often talk directly to the person who actually made it.
So what's the secret ingredient here? What really makes this whole farmer's market way of building things tick? Well, it all comes down to one really powerful idea about the kinds of promises we should be looking for. It's called a self-guaranteeing promise. And what that means is, it's a promise that doesn't ask you to just trust a company's marketing department or their terms of service, which can change at any time. No way. It's a promise you can actually verify for yourself. Okay, so here's where it gets really practical. The idea of file over app, which just means your data is saved in open format files on your own computer, that's self-guaranteeing. You can always take your files and go somewhere else. But a privacy policy, that is not self-guaranteeing. Why? Because they can change it tomorrow. It forces you to trust them, not the system itself. And you know, this whole philosophy, it's also about a kind of minimalism. It's about knowing what to remove. As humans, we have this natural bias to just keep adding more features, more rules, more complexity. The real discipline is learning to tell the difference between what's essential and what's just a burden we've gotten used to carrying around. Okay, so now we're going to zoom out. Because this farmer's market approach, it's not just a way to build software. It's actually a reflection of a much, much deeper worldview. We're going to shift from the how to the why. This is a fundamental shift from just how you build to how you think about everything.
This mindset has a name, principled optimism. And look, this isn't about just passively hoping for the best. It's an active choice, and it's built on 3 core beliefs. 1, that a great future is actually possible. 2, that people, deep down, are generally good. And 3, that new ideas are fragile things that need to be protected. You can see how this leads to the handmade jam approach, right? If you believe people are good, you'll build something that respects them, instead of trying to trap them.
Well, wait a minute. Being an optimist doesn't mean you just ignore all the bad stuff, right? Not at all. It actually means you deal with it differently. And it starts with this classic idea that pain and suffering are 2 totally different things.
See, pain, it's not a punishment. It's not something you should try to avoid all the time. Pain is information. When you touch a hot stove, the pain is just information screaming, hey, don't do that again. Every single pain, physical or emotional, has a piece of knowledge inside it. The goal isn't to live a life with no pain. The goal is to get really, really good at turning that pain into power. So I want you to think about it for a second. The last time you felt real pain, What information was it giving you? If you can figure that out, you've learned something powerful. You can turn that pain into knowledge, and we all know knowledge is power. And then you can go looking for the next useful pain.
Okay, let's take our final step back. We're about to zoom out to the widest possible view. We've gone from software to a personal mindset, and now we're going universal. And trust me, this is where things get really wild.
You've probably heard the old metaphor, right? Spaceship Earth. We're all just passengers on this rock flying through space. Well, this new view offers something completely different. Body Earth. In this metaphor, Earth isn't some vehicle we're riding in. No, it's a single living organism. And we aren't the passengers. We are its cells.
Just think about it for a second. Our entire global network of roads and railways and shipping lanes, that's basically a vascular system, pumping nutrients and materials to every single part of this planetary body.
And then, on top of that, you have this. All of our telecommunication networks, the cables under the sea, the satellites in orbit, the fiber optics, they're literally knitting together a planetary nervous system, letting information flash from one side of the globe to the other. It's like the Earth is growing a mind.
When you get a paper cut, your body's cells rush to fix the damage, and you don't even have to think about it. Well, when a storm knocks out a fiber optic cable, human engineers rush to fix it. From the point of view of Body Earth, those two things are exactly the same. They're both just cells, us, doing maintenance to keep the bigger organism healthy. And this is the final, mind-bending conclusion of this whole worldview. We're so worried about creating some AI god in the machine. But what if we've got it all backward? What if the superintelligence is the planet itself slowly waking up, and we're not its creators? We're just the cells already living inside of it.
Which brings us to one last, absolutely massive question. If the Earth really is a living, thinking organism, what will it want? Well, the source suggests it wants the same thing all life wants, to live and to reproduce. Now that is a thought to leave you with.